Looking for some of the best beaches in France with crystal clear water? These 5 in southern Corsica are stunning and totally doable on a budget. Corsica is a lesser-known island in the Mediterranean with pristine beaches with crystal clear water and soft sand. We spent 3 days in the south of Corsica near Bonifacio exploring these 5 incredible beaches. Piantarella Beach is only an 11-minute drive from Bonifacio, and if you're looking for water activities, this is the beach for you. Driving is the best and easiest option since public transportation can be scarce in Corsica. There's mention of a shuttle bus that costs €5 each way from the docks in Bonifacio, but it only runs in July and August, which is also the busiest tourist season. There isn't really a parking lot, but you can park for free along the road that leads to the beach. The road leads to the docks, and then you turn right and climb along the rocks to reach the beach. Because of this, I would not say this beach is wheelchair or stroller friendly. The path isn't too steep, but you do have to climb over some rocks and walk through some water. We visited in October and the beach was quiet, but during the summer, this beach is popular and gets very crowded, especially since the nicest sandy area is quite small. Seaweed covers a large part of this beach, but the water is shallow and super clear. It's so shallow you could practically walk across to the small Piana island or even rent a kayak. Rentals start at €15. However, you can't go on the island from December 15th to April 15th since birds nest during that time. It was very windy when we visited, and there were some wind borders that you have to watch out for if swimming farther from the shore. There was one restroom along the road as you approached the bay, but it did not look very nice. So I'd be prepared with my own toilet paper and hand sanitizer and use it more as a last resort. There's also one pizza restaurant before you walk to the beach, but it was closed when we visited in October, so likely only open during the summer. You'll want to bring snacks, drinks, and chairs or an umbrella if needed since there are no rental locations. Just remember, if you plan on bringing a lot, you do have to carry everything over the rocks, so pack light. For the prettiest watercolor, you'll want to visit in the afternoon when the sun is high. Be sure to check the wind and tide conditions before as well. The beach is best for anyone interested in water activities like kite surfing, windboarding, kayaking, or boat tours. You can rent different watercraft here and even take windboarding or kite surfing lessons if you're feeling adventurous. Prices are around €150 to €200, depending on what kind of course you choose. You can take a boat tour to the nearby Lavezzi archipelago or a submarine tour in the bay as well. While this beach wasn't our favorite, it's worth a visit, especially if you're interested in water sports. It's also the entrance to our next 2 beaches, including our absolute favorite, Plage de Petit Sperone. The Plage de Petit Sperone is a short walk from Piantarella Beach. Only accessible on foot, you keep walking along the shore from Piantarella about 500 meters until you reach the small cove. The views from the path are spectacular, and you can even spot some Roman ruins tucked away. It's a fairly quick and easy walk, mostly flat with a short uphill portion right before you reach the cove, although you do have to duck through some overgrown branches. Still a very popular beach, it was busy in the evening when we visited, but we went back the next day around noon and had it basically to ourselves. The sand here is white and soft. The water is clear, shallow, and very cold. It's safe for kids, and we saw plenty of families playing in the water when we were there. The waves are small, and since it's tucked away in a cove, we didn't feel the wind as much as on Piantarella. Plus, there's no seaweed either. There are absolutely no facilities on the beach, though. For food and the restroom, you need to return back to where you parked along the road, but that means this beach is completely free to visit. We found the best time to visit was the morning and around noon before it got too busy. The water is also an incredible turquoise color at this time, and we had a great time relaxing on the sand and swimming. This beach was our favorite we visited. In October, it wasn't too crowded, and the cove felt protected and isolated from the world. We visited this beach twice on our trip, so we would definitely go back and highly recommend visiting. The last beach in this area is the Plage de Sperone. A 15-minute walk or 1 kilometer from the Petit Sperone beach, it has a wilder feel and is larger but less protected from the wind. You climb the stairs at the Petit Sperone beach and then walk along a dirt path past the golf course and through the pine trees. Definitely bring shoes for this walk since there are small stones on the ground that will hurt your feet. This beach was completely empty when we went around noon in October. While it'll be more crowded in the summer since it's a farther walk, 1.5 kilometers total from Piantarella, it will likely be the least crowded of the 3 beaches. In pictures, we saw the water seem shallow and clear, but it was very windy when we went, so there were large waves. We didn't stay long or swim before heading back to the Petit Sperone. The water was still beautiful shades of blue, even with the wind and waves. It's best to visit in the morning to avoid crowds and when there aren't high winds, so the water will be calm. Even with the high winds, the view is spectacular, so if you're looking for a quiet spot to relax, this still could be the best beach for you. While we didn't get to spend too much time here, I'd love to come back and explore when there's less wind. Since this beach is farther away from the others, it's best for those looking for a more quiet and relaxing experience. Only a 15-minute drive from Bonifacio, Plage de Stagnolu feels a world away with the wild landscape and round red rocks. While Google Maps makes it look like you can drive right up to Stagnolu Beach, you'll really need to park at the small lot at Plage de la Tonara. It is a small dirt parking lot, but parking is free. You may need to park along the road if the lot is full. From Tonara, you can walk about 1 kilometer to Stagnolu Beach in about 10 or 15 minutes. Again, Google Maps will tell you to walk along the road, but there are a lot of small trails you can explore and make your way toward the beach, and eventually you'll get there. Part of the fun is the adventure of getting there. All the roads and paths are dirt with ruts that would make the paths inaccessible for wheelchairs or strollers. The walk may be difficult for small children, and you might have to carry them at times. Stagnolu Beach is another example of just how different your experience will be depending on the time of day and weather when you visit. We visited in the evening around sunset, and the water was a beautiful blue, but not the turquoise color you see when the sun is shining directly over. It was very windy, so instead of calm water for swimming, there were large waves. If you were to visit around midday on a calm day, you would have a very different experience. There are no facilities at Stagnolu Beach. At Tonara Beach, there are a couple restaurants and chairs and umbrellas that you can rent as well. Prices start around 18 to 30 euros at the restaurant, so if you're on a budget, I'd pack your own picnic lunch and drinks. Just don't forget to pack out all your trash. In the summer, you can also rent jet skis and equipment for wind sports near Tonara. While the lighting in the late afternoon was beautiful and we had a great time hiking around, if you're looking for a relaxing day at the beach, I recommend visiting earlier in the morning and making sure the conditions are calm. The landscape here is so unique compared to the other beaches we'd visit. I recommend this beach for hikers, wind sports fans, and anyone looking for a more natural experience. We really enjoyed our visit and would return on a day with better conditions for swimming. The last beach we visited in Corsica, and probably one of the most popular, is Plage de Santa Giulia. Only a 24-minute drive from Bonifacio and a 12-minute drive from Porto Vecchio, we visited on our way driving back north to catch our ferry in Bastia. There's a bus from Porto Vecchio to Santa Giulia in July and August. Tickets are 7 euros one way or 11 euros round trip. If you drive, parking is free, and the lot was large, but this is a very popular beach, so in high season it will fill up fast. It's a short walk from the parking to the beach, making this beach wheelchair and stroller friendly. You do still have to deal with the sand and dirt paths to the beach, but definitely the most accessible out of all the beaches we visited. This beach is very popular. When we visited in October, it was very busy. It's popular with tourists and families, so you really won't be alone here. The beach is sandy and very long, so the farther down the beach you go, the less people you'll find. The water is shallow and clear. You look out at a large bay with few waves, making it perfect for relaxing. Since the waves are small and the water is calm, it's basically like a big swimming pool, which is probably why it's so popular. This was also the most developed beach we visited. There are restaurants, bathrooms, and jet ski and other watercraft rentals. We ate at Costa Plage, and the food was good and not too terribly priced. It was about 10 to 15 euros a person, so not too bad for being in such a touristy location. They also have sunbeds and umbrellas to rent. To avoid the crowds, the morning and the off-season are the best time to visit. The calm water is perfect for families and anyone who doesn't want to have to walk too far to reach paradise. If you like having a lot of amenities and options, then this is a great option for you as well. This was almost our favorite beach of the trip, but the crowds moved it to second place. I would definitely love to come back though. Corsica has a beach for everyone, and while it was hard to pick a favorite, the Petit Sperone beach definitely wins in our book. Which beach would you like to visit first? Did we visit your favorite beach in Corsica? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.